All right, hi cutie pies. I am Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is Days of Our Lives edition. Today is Thursday, November the 9th, 2023. I'm gonna try to record this again. Hopefully the sound is working this time. All right, let's get into it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We see EJ and Belle. Okay, so like EJ and Belle are together because, of course, she's taking Gabby's case, and because she is taking Gabby's case, and EJ is the DA. Hold on. Now, because EJ is the DA, she's there to try to cut a deal. Well, not to try to cut a deal. She's there to tell him, you have a personal vendetta against Gabby, and so this isn't about like you just wanting to um gets a criminal off the street. This is really you trying to extract revenge on Gabby. And he said, no, that's not what it is. Like, and she tells him, there's no reason for you to do this because the evidence doesn't point toward, there's not enough evidence and everything. I said, what now? Nah, Belle, I don't know about this. So she wants him to just drop the case. And I said, girl, I don't see that happening there. EJ said there were two witnesses that said they saw Gabby with the knife in hand, as well as heard her saying she needed to get rid of it. And I said, not, and also Lee said she do it. Now, do I believe Gabby did this? Of course not. I do not believe she did this. I hope they really go into this murder mystery about who killed Lee, but I don't think it was Gabby. But I want to see who it actually was. But anyways, Bella's trying to get him to drop the case, and he not trying to do that. He not trying to hear her on that. So then we see Jada and Rafe. So once we see Jada and Rafe, I hope there's not an echo because I'm in the bathroom. And sometimes I have to. Well, I was trying to film in the bathroom because Mila. Now it's mid lunch and stuff, and she's wound up now. Earlier when I recorded this, she was like just waking up, so she was kind of quiet. But so my bad, y'all. Anyways, she's telling him that they got the forensics back from the knife, and there was only one other fingerprint, and it was Lee. It was not, but it makes sense because Wendy said Lee was using that knife to make dinner because I remember Lee had the knife in his hand when he was so mad at Gabby, and he told her, "Oh, I'm just about to make dinner." So it makes sense that Lee's hands would be on that knife and that it was already in their home. And so they say, we're going to keep looking for anything else that could possibly point this into someone else's direction. But right now, it's not looking good for Gabby. So then we see Gabby and Stefan together. And so while they are talking together, Gabby is letting him know that she can't go back to prison. She cannot. It's too hard of a time. What happened the last time she went there? She couldn't make it. And he's like, Gabby, don't worry. We're gonna find out who did this to you. We're gonna find the police are gonna find out that you didn't do this. Now I think Stefan has something to do with it. Do I think he's going to be the one who stabbed Lee? I don't know about that, but I think you remember how Abigail was when it could have been Lucas, it could have been Sarah, it could have been Gwen, but it wasn't them. I feel like that's what's gonna happen with Stefan. Maybe it could have been him. But I'm not 100% sure because I wouldn't think that he would let Gabby go to prison if he had done this. I would think he wouldn't do that. But you never know, child. With its days. Anyways, so um they say he's like Belle couldn't come with me right now because she's working trying to get EJ to she's working trying to get EJ to drop these charges or get something to happen with him. So they're gonna see about that. So then Rafe comes in and he lets them know because they're like, is there any evidence that points away from Gabby? He said, well, I really can't disclose the case, but as of right now, nothing is. The evidence isn't leading anyone else. And they're like, oh my gosh. And Gabby tells them, guys, I cannot go to Statesville. And they said, Gabby, like we're gonna do everything we can to try to help you. And she tells Rafe, I understand, I know you will. And she just tells them like Ariana was supposed to be coming. Like I can't believe this is my life. And so then Rafe leaves. Excuse me. Rafe is away somewhere, and Belle comes in and she talks to Gabby. She talks to Gabby and Stefan, and she lets them know that, hey, she lets them know that EJ will not drop the charges, and Stefan was like, "That's okay. We'll just get her home on bail and everything." And she said EJ's gonna deny bail. He's gonna see if they can get bail denied because you're married to into the Demira family and they have a private jet. And they were like, "But EJ is part of that family." And so she's like, EJ is part of that family. So how could he do that? Like, he's part of it. And they said, well, I mean, y'all have a private jet, and because of everything, they think you might be a flight risk. So they're not gonna. He's gonna ask the request that bail be denied. And so at this point, EJ comes strolling through, and he's chipper. He's having the best day of his life. And he was like, Gabriella, he's just talking to her, telling her, EJ is gloating. He's pretty much telling her, I know this has got to be difficult for you. And they're like, of course it is difficult. And so, of course, Stefan gets all upset, and he jacks EJ up because he's about to start fighting him. And EJ's like, whoa, brother, what's going on? What's happening? And he said, I told you I was going to get you back. And so Rafe comes up and he gets Stefan off of EJ. And then Stefan gonna go and knock the papers off the desk. I said, nah, you gonna have to pick them up, sir. But anyways, he knocks the papers off the desk. He's just upset at this point because EJ is waiting. There is nothing they can do to stop this train wreck that's happening to Gabby's life, and he's upset about that. So then we see where EJ tells Gabby, well, good luck in Statesville, because they're going to the bond and he's gonna get it denied and everything. And that's exactly what ends up happening. He gets the not bond, the bail. She's not gonna be able to be out on bail because it was denied by the judge, because they do believe, with the Demira money and everything, she is a flight risk, so she's having to go straight to Statesville. I said, now, EJ, there is a difference between what they did to you as far as taking your job away and you sending her to prison. But then again, I can't really feel bad for Gabby, y'all, because her and Stefan have been moving real nasty lately. And so I guess, I don't feel bad for her. So Gabby is on the phone with Ariana. Is the baby name Ariana? But anyway, she's on the phone with her daughter and she's letting her know, mommy loves you. I'm innocent. And as soon as I'm out and I'm free, I'm gonna come to you. Tell your dads, I appreciate them, and you be good for them and everything. And she gets off the phone with them, and then she talks to Rafe, and he tells her he loves her and she's going to be strong. And she says, you're a good man. And the people of this town are lucky. He says, I'm gonna still be fighting for you, Gabby. I'm gonna find the evidence to clear your name. And then he leaves to get the van ready so they can transport her to Statesville. And that gives her time with Stefan. And Stefan tells her, I love you, and I'm going to be, doing everything in my power to get you out of here. And she's scared. She's scared to go to Statesville because of what happened last time. And he told her, you are Gabriela Hernandez Demira, and you're a strong woman, and you'll be okay. And so then, he said this will go out, the time will go by fast, and then the next thing you know, you'll be out with me. We'll be watching TV and eating, and she said, and getting revenge on everyone, on our enemies. I said, see, this was got you in this situation in the first place. That's why you're in this situation, trying to get revenge on people. Because if you had just left EJ alone and Lee alone and Kristen and all that, and just let Stefan and EJ just been co-CEOs, none of this would have happened. But you didn't. So now you're in this predicament. Anyway, so she leaves. She gives him a kiss, and then she goes, and I guess she's off to Statesville. So then we see Belle and EJ, and she tells EJ, "Don't be so smug, because this is a war. This is a war. You might have won that battle, but you better believe Stefan is going to be coming for you for sending Gabby away." And right now, EJ not trying to hear about that. He don't care about none of that. He like, I got what I wanted, and that's to start my revenge. It might and it might not rain. And it's to start my revenge. So he's good. So then we go over here to Wendy and Trip. Wendy is devastated about her brother being dead, murdered, of course. And she wants Gabby to pay for what she's done, and she says, you know, there better not be anything that goes wrong, and Gabby won't get the revenge that she deserves, because something happens with Gabby and they let her off the hook. And Trip says he doubt that happens, but has she told her dad? And he said no. She told him no. He said, well, you need to speak to your dad, because you don't want him finding out on social media. It's already on the news about what happened to Lee. And she says, well, it's the middle of the night in Hong Kong. He said, Wendy. And she said, okay. So she calls her dad, and she's trying to tell her dad what's going on. And of course, she was like, it's about Lee. And he was like, his shares. And she was like, no, it's not about his shares. And then she's trying to talk to him, and he's not listening really. So she raises her voice, and he like, don't raise your voice at me. And she said, I can't do this. So Trip gets on the phone, and he ends up telling Lee and Wendy's dad that Lee has died. And of course, he gets off, and she said, how did he take it? And he said he didn't really say too much. And she said, of course, my dad is like that. And he was like, no, I think he was more in shock. And it wasn't that he was being cold hearted. He was just in shock. And he didn't know what to say. And she says, well, I can understand that, because I feel that as well, ma'am. If you don't get on, he says, I feel that as well. So I'm not surprised that she says that. And so, he's just there to support Winnie at this time. So then Jada comes over, right? And she's asking Wendy questions like, what was Lee's mind frame when he died? And she said, of course he was angry. She said, would you call him unstable? And Wendy said, what you trying to say, Jada? I said, Jada, this questioning. And she said, are you trying to say that my brother framed Gabby for this or something? And Jada said, Wendy, I'm just really trying to get to the bottom of like what happened or whatever. And Wendy wasn't here for it. She was not here for Jada trying to say this. I said, well, I mean, it is a possibility. That would have been, if Lee did this, that would have been a cold way to get revenge. I'm not mad at it. But anyways, so then at this point, Jada gets a phone call, and she has to leave Wendy and them. But Wendy didn't like her line of questioning, and we'll see what happens. So moving on from that, we go to Dimitri and Leo. Now, Dimitri and Leo are trying to get out of this Roach Motel because they are running low of money again. Like they're trying to find a way to get to his mom. Trying to find a way to get to his mom so that they can start living a better life again. And they said, so they're reading about Gabby, and of course they're elated that bad stuff is happening to her. But they also say, wait, Leo's like, Rolf helped Gabby. And so he was like, maybe we can get to Rolf. And Dimitri is like, well, that was 24 hours ago. I'm sure he's not still here. Then they get a knock on the door, and it's Rolf. So Rolf tells them, he's here to help them, because Megan heard about everything that happened. And Dimitri was like, yes, so that means you're going to take us away. He said, listen, she was upset that you lost all that money, because that's how she was going to live too, and his fortune. And he tells him, so because of that, she's willing, and you threw it all away for love. Now she don't care, like you're her son, so you're her flesh and blood, so she's gonna do what she has to do. And so she's gonna get rid, she's gonna help you get out of Salem. But Leo, he can't come. And Demetrius said, excuse me. He's like, no, she don't want you bringing Leo, because she's mad that he chose Leo over the money. And so Demetrius said, listen, you're going to get seats for Leo and I to both be on that sub, and I'm going to deal with my mother when I see her. That's the bottom line. And Dr. Rolf was like, or Rolf was just like, all right, cool. You know what he was going to say? What was he going to say? And so Leo was like, oh my gosh, you did that for me. And Demetri said, you're giving up your life for me. And look at everything you've done. Like, it was my plan that tried to get revenge, tried to do it another way to get Gabby and them. And now look what happened because of that. You know, now look what happened because of that. So he said, so it's all good. Of course I wouldn't leave you behind. And Leo said, I am giving up some stuff like Lady Whistleblower and all that, but it's worth it to be with you. So they're packing up. I said, y'all should have left with Rolf right then, but they want to pack their little their little things. So they pack up and they're about to leave out the door, and Jada is there waiting on them because that was the alert that they had saw Dimitri and Leo earlier swimming in some pool, or I don't know what these two were doing. I'm like, y'all supposed to be laying low. But anyway, she's there, so I don't know what's gonna happen with them, y'all. But that's all I have for you today. That was Days of Our Lives. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow for the final episode of the week of What Happened on the Soaps Days of Our Lives edition. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.